Hi everyone, welcome to my kitchen. I am Dana and behind the camera is my part-time cameraman and now my chauffeur too. He took me to go get my car yesterday, Robbie, and if you hear some crunching in the background, that's Rocky the Velociraptor and Otis. Oops, hang on a second. You go away. Okay, so my tablet was talking to me. Anyway, tonight we're heading to Korea. This seemed to be a style. People wanted me to do some Eastern Asian kind of food. So we're gonna do some bibimbap tonight and then some Gajajeon. So basically Korean pancakes. I'm not very good with those languages, so we'll get going here. I'm gonna start with some rice. I've actually been soaking my rice here for a few hours, and now I'm going to kind of drain it, and then we're going to put it in the pot. I'm going to bring it to a boil, and then we're going to let it steam. So bibimbap, this is kind of the base for bibimbap if you're not familiar with it, and it's what you're going to see me tonight is make a whole bunch of different things that we're going to put on top of the rice. It has a lot of prep work involved and not a ton of cooking. A little bit of cooking, but not a lot. And just keep in mind, if you don't like something that I'm putting on this bibimbap, it really was a dish that started as kind of this mixed vegetable, sometimes meat dish, based with what you had left in your pantry. So this is one of those good dishes that if you have a bunch of ingredients and you don't know what to do with it, this is the way to this is one of the ways you can do it. Like pasta is another good way, stir-fried rice is another. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do, drain this rice. And then I'm going to head over here and put it in the pot. You can see in here in this bowl how white the water is. That's all the starches that sit on the outside of the rice. And also the other cool thing about doing it this way, it doesn't take as long to cook the rice. It will probably be a little sticky cooking it this way. I'm not going to steam it, which if you want sticky rice, great. You can steam your rice if you've got a rice cooker or like a one pot kind of thing. Those are great ways to steam your rice. I'm not going to do it that way. So I'm going to put, I used to measure my water all the time, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my rice and I'm going to put water so that it's like kind of just right above my knuckles. All right, so if you, it's kind of hard to see because I can't tilt the pot, you won't see how high it is. I'm just going to bring this to a boil. And then I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to let it steam. And hopefully that should cook the rice. We'll see. Hopefully Bobby and I won't have undercooked rice. Hi guys, how's everybody doing? Aladdin's Girl, I did watch Quarantine Kitchen this week. So he stuck with a very simple dish this week. This is a dish that appears more complicated sometimes than it is, but it's actually a pretty simple dish. So I've got the rice, I'm gonna bring that to a boil. I'm gonna put a little salt in it because I haven't done that yet. And then we'll start working on some potato pancakes. So there we go. All right, I'm gonna need this for my potato pancakes too, but let me rinse this out. By the way, there is a new steak emoji too. Do you have that? Can you put that in there? So if you are subscribed, you now have a steak emoji too, which would be awesome to use on Cody's channel too, if you watch him. Okay. Well, apparently the dogs need water, so hang on. Otherwise, we'll end up with water bowls all over the kitchen. Rocky is not shy when his needs aren't being met. There you go, bud. Okay. All right, potato pancakes. We need potatoes. We need an onion. This is a small onion. If you've got a big onion, only use about a quarter of the onion. We need garlic. Chives are optional. You can use chives. And then we'll make a little dipping sauce out of sugar, soy sauce, vinegar, a little bit of water, and then of course we need a neutral oil to fry it. And I've got this pot out and I don't need it yet. What I do need is something to make the potato pancakes in. So this ought to be fun because this is the first time I've ever made these. So if I mess them up,
no
I'm
pressure.
learning. I'm learning. We're going to use a food processor because that's a lot faster than me sitting here with a box grater. Then I got to peel these first. And here we go. Fun with Dana peeling potatoes. I wonder what, so Aladdin's Girl, you were asking if I watched Alton. I'm really curious to see what his big secret project is. Does anybody have tickets to his show when it comes into town, his live show? I do. So, I'm excited about that, but that's not until November. Robbie's shaking his head. You know they can't hear you when you shake your
That's
head.
like 5 months from now. That's so far away.
And I've had the tickets for what, 3 months now?
A while.
2 or 3 months? Yeah. I even splurged for the VIP tickets. I don't know what I was thinking. But it's done now. That's kind of the thing that happens when it's late at night and you've had a glass of wine and you're like, this is a good idea.
It was a good idea.
It is a good idea. Well, it's a good idea because I'm paying for them.
Well, it will be fun. How about that?
It will be fun. It's going to be good to get out into the world. I'm going to bring this over here so that I can see you guys. Hi, guys that are just coming in. So that you know what we're doing tonight. We are making bibimbap, something I've made multiple times just because it's a great way when you got a lot of vegetables left in your house to kind of use them in a really delicious, yummy way. And then we're also, right now, what we're working on is some potato pancakes. So what I've got going right now is I've got the rice starting to boil, and I'm going to let that still go. I got to get this onion going here. Did you see, I don't know if any of you guys ever seen, there's this guy and he makes sushi for his cats. I found him on YouTube today. It's like better looking, it's better looking than the food I sometimes make, and I'm like, those are some lucky cats there. They're eating sushi. All right. We'll get that chopped. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in the food processor to shred. You could do this on a box grater if you don't have this. It would be really hard to do it on one that's not a box grater, you know, just a grating thing, but you could. Just gonna have to be careful. All right, this is going to get loud here in a second. Boy, this got very spotty this time we washed it. I don't need to do that. I need to do this. And if you're just joining, this is my first time making these potato pancakes, so we're going to see how that goes. So I'm putting in about 2 potatoes, russet potatoes. That's about 1.5 pounds-ish of potatoes if you're using smaller ones. Okay, hang on, I gotta do this rice. Now I'm gonna just stick that top on there and let that steam. Okay. And I'm going to turn it. See how much faster that is than if I had a box grater?
magic.
It is, I mean, I love this. It's just, you know, more to clean. But I don't have to do the dishwashing, because I have a full-time dishwasher that's behind the camera. He's so excited about it too. I may help him tonight. He had a rough day at work. Meanwhile, I did yoga.
Yoga?
Yoga. Did I tell you guys I started yoga teacher training this week? So I have to do yoga like 5 or 6 times a week. Which honestly is the reason I did it. Okay, what we are going to do here, so when we put things that have a lot of water into it, into oil on the stove, it spits a lot. So when you see that oil spitting when you're cooking, that's usually because of the water content of what's in the food that you're cooking. So potatoes have a lot of water. And so what we're going to do is we're going to actually put it in this colander that I had the rice in earlier, and then this bowl. And I'm going to let it sit here for just a little bit and kind of squeeze some of that water out. I don't know if you probably can't see this. But when I press that down, you can see all the liquid that's in the potatoes. So we're going to get rid of that. But then what we're going to do, maybe, I might, if I have time, let this sit, so let the liquid sit so that the starch that's in the water goes to the bottom. It's heavier than the liquid part, and then we can add it back into the potatoes. But that's what you ultimately want to do, if you could let this sit for a little while and let that happen. But we're on a time constraint here. We may not be able to do that. So, but look how much water's already come out of there, and I just stuck it. Can you see that? You see how much water's already in from those potatoes? Now I need to let it sit and not move it around so the starches will go to the bottom. All right. Whew. Now, into the potatoes, I'm gonna put a little salt and pepper. And while I let this sit for a little bit, I think that's all I need to put in there. Like I said, this is the first time I have done this. I think I'm supposed to put some garlic in there too. I'm gonna put garlic salt because I haven't minced my garlic yet. Not garlic salt, garlic powder. And then some pepper. And I'm gonna need it. So I'm gonna let that sit for a second. When you're doing something like this, it's really good to use a neutral oil. For a lot of what we're doing tonight, we're going to be using sesame oil. But when we're frying things, some neutral oils such as grapeseed oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, all of those are considered more neutral oils. Way faster, and you don't skin your knuckles. Exactly, exactly. It's always fun to watch worst cooks and see how they don't know how to use the food processors, because if you don't know, you can't make it work unless all of the pieces are in exactly the right spot. And Robbie thinks they're not designed very well. At least that's what I remember you saying.
Which thing?
Food processors.
It's not idiot-proof, that's for sure.
It's not. I told you I have a friend, and his company, that's what they do, is they try to design products. It's one of the things they do, because they know people don't read the directions a lot. Am I off camera?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So all I'm doing here is tossing this so that the garlic, salt, and the onion are evenly in the potatoes. And I'm going to get some of this liquid off the top of here and then put the starch in there. There's not a ton. Okay, So let me show you what's going on here. So as I tilt this, you can see the liquid is down here in the bottom, and this is the starch. So we want to get rid of the liquid, but we want to keep the starch and put it back in the potatoes. The starch will help the potatoes stay together. Here. Did I turn this on? Of course I didn't.
Oh,
What?
you forgot.
I forgot to turn it on.
On Sunday.
It's on now.
It's on now. That's all that
It's on
matters.
now. It's all good. All right. And yeah. So once that oil heats up, we're gonna make some. Just make some. It's weird because when I make these, like when I make something like other potato kinds of pancakes, they usually have like an egg or some other binder in them. But for these, all the recipes I found did not have a binder in them other than that starch. That was it. But I could see that you would have more of that starch if you let this sit for a little bit longer. So these may not be perfect. So while I'm letting the oil heat up, what I'm going to do real quick is make a dipping sauce. The dog wrangler is really on call tonight, aren't you? So dipping sauce for the pancakes, I think I need to go get, I've got tablespoons and all that good stuff right behind me. So for this, we are going to need a tablespoon of soy sauce. And obviously I buy mine like at Costco. So I have a giant thing of it. We're gonna put a teaspoon of vinegar. Hi, Gideus. How do you say what you're cooking? Good question. It's called Bibimbap. It's a Korean dish. And hi, welcome. And it is a rice dish with lots of veggies, and it's going to have some beef in it, and then we're going to top it off with an egg. It's a good one to use for it's a good one to use when you have a lot of leftover vegetables that you don't know what to do with and you don't want them to go bad. All right, so I put some vinegar in there, and hey, Gideus, thank you for subscribing. Love that. And lurking at work. Hello, Crafty Gamer. You're lurking at work. So, yay. Thank you, guys. And then I need some sugar for my sauce. And we're going to put a little bit more. I could put about a half a teaspoon in there. Is that what it's asking me for? Yeah. Oh, that's way more than a half a teaspoon. Okay.
Is that how you're supposed to do it?
Exactly. I mean, if you were looking for a chef's kitchen and looking for the perfect way that people cook, this is probably not the right cooking show. But if you want something that's closer to the way you cook at home, I'm probably your girl. Can we put a little water in here? So it's a real simple sauce. Dipping sauce for the pancakes. Okay, I think this is hot enough. I'm going to put you guys over there with the chat. Now let's see how this goes. You ever try something for the first time and you went, that didn't go well? We'll see how this goes. Now, I think traditionally when this is done, you do like, this makes 2 pancakes. So you would basically be doing kind of like you do hash browns in the pan. I'm going to make them a little smaller since we're kind of eating them as an appetizer while I cook the bibimbap. So, all right. You were going to grill a steak today, but you haven't done it and decided not to. You just got to get in there. But don't overcook it because you can't uncook when you overcook, but you can cook something more. So,
is that the tip of the day?
That is the tip of the day. All right. Now, really, really important with anything like this, it has a lot of liquid in it, is don't overcrowd the pan or you'll only steam them. You won't get a crisp side. The potatoes really need to sit longer. So if you're doing this, let the potatoes sit for 20 or 30 minutes to let more of the moisture come out, because I'm not sure this is going to work as well as I want. Oh, and I have chives to put in them as well. So you're scared of, it's charcoal, you can't control the charcoal too much. You can actually put the steak so it's not, doesn't have direct heat over it. Underneath the steak, if you're a little scared about that, flare-ups and stuff like that. But it's a little harder. It's not like the gas, but you get better flavor, I think. I'll put some of those there. We'll mix some of those in here. So make sauces: soy sauce, white apple cider vinegar, and ground chili powder, all to taste. That's the way you've had those pancakes and the way you make them? I just looked at a recipe, Fallen Age, and that's what it told me to do, and since it's in, but that sounds really good. So let me look at that again. Ground chili powder. So like a specific kind of chili powder, because there's so many different kinds of chili powder. So do you have one you would recommend for that? Let's see here. You do with your ribs. Throw some wood chips on, get some of that good smoke with your ribs when you're grilling. So let's see. Yes, you did used to worry about overcooking steak, but now you are fabulous.
It worked out very well last time. We'll say that.
Aladdin's girl has reservations for an Italian place near her. That's awesome. Finally being able to get out and go out to eat without feeling like we can't. We can feel like we can. That would be positive, right? That would be good. So go to a Korean store with ground chili powder. I don't know where I'll have to check that out because I don't know where there's a Korean store in Texas. I'm sure they're here. You look like you may know one.
Maybe. I haven't been there though.
You haven't gone grocery shopping at a Korean grocery store? That's shocking.
It is shocking.
So, Fallen Age, you'll have to tell me if I'm doing this right or if there's something I need to be doing differently. I think this should be probably a little thinner too. But look, they're nice and crisp. Although I don't know if you can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's good. So, oh. Kelsey's here. Woo! Hi, Kelsey. Kelsey is my daughter, and I'm so excited. She's going to come visit me soon. But she hasn't given me the dates. She keeps changing them. They just usually make regular pancakes? Okay. All right. Awesome. I'm putting oil all over the place, too. I'm doing a good job so far. Okay, I'm not going to use my knife. I'm going to remember to use this today to scrape off my board and keep it clean. You know, I was telling Robbie last night, I know Aladdin's girl was in here talking, I was watching Alton Brown on Quarantine Kitchen, and his kitchen was kind of a mess, and he couldn't find things, and so I feel way better, because I can't find things in my kitchen's a mess when I cook, so.
You mean like the copper bowl he was missing that was
That
on
was
the
right
wall
behind
for
him.
weeks?
Yeah, it was right behind him. Kimchi pancakes. You know what I have? I have kimchi in here, I think. Or did I
You
pull it
have
out?
kimchi now?
I did. I bought some today because I didn't have time to ferment vegetables in like 3 hours. So, kimchi pancakes. Interesting. That's cool. Let me get some paper towels to put these out on. And then we'll start cooking start cutting up some of our other vegetables. So if you're just joining, we're making bibimbap, and this is a rice dish. I mean, that's what bibimbap kind of means. It means, like, the first part of the word, I believe, is a way to cook rice, whereas bap is kind of a rice. And if I'm wrong on that, somebody correct me. This is not my expertise area. And so you just find the vegetables that you're not using. Tonight I'm going to have mushrooms and cucumbers and carrots and spinach. Some microgreens. I think that's it. And then we've got beef to make as well. So, see, Fallen Age is our expert here on this dish. So hopefully I don't disappoint her, because I'm really worried about disappointing her tonight. Because she's been, yeah. Did I see what happened to Alton's food in his fridge? Yeah, that was not good. But I really can't say anything, because I may have done that before myself. Anybody else go on vacation, you get back from vacation and you look at your food and you're like, wow, I probably should have thrown that away before I went on vacation. All right. Those are almost done, the first batch. And so what I'm going to start with is I'm going to start by cutting up my cucumbers into matchsticks. So what I have is a seedless cucumber. So these are the ones, if you're not familiar with the produce section of the grocery store, are the seedless kind. So if you don't want seeds in your cucumber, and I would suggest for this dish, this is the better kind, is splurge for the English cucumbers, or if you find another kind of seedless cucumber, you can use that as well. So Hot and Ready has never heard of this dish. I hadn't either, but I kept watching all these cooking shows, and I kept making it, and I was like, that looks like that's really good. I think I'm gonna try that. All right, I think I'm gonna stick that first batch over here. That looks pretty good. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's one there that has a lot of onion on it. All right, put a little more oil in.
I call dibs on that one then.
The one that has a great big chunk of onion in it?
Yep, that's my dibs.
Okay, dibs. Do you have a dibs? You have a dibs thing?
Just a moment, I'll find it. Hold on.
So, and what's funny, Hot and Ready, and the rest of you, is I've never made these potato pancakes, so I'm really excited to see how they turn out too. All right, but like I said, can you see how much water is still in these potatoes? Let them sit for 20 or 30 minutes to get all of that liquid out. They'll get crunchier. You can probably make them thinner than what I'm making them, because that's a lot. And if you weren't here when I said it, one of the reasons to do that is then the oil won't spatter as much, because when you put things that have a lot of water into oil and water don't mix. You've probably heard that saying before. And so it starts spitting. All right, there we go. All right, I'm attempting to make matchsticks. These are not the best matched. Oh, I probably should peel this too. As I'm sitting here, you're gonna take that? Good plan. Let's peel this cucumber. We don't want that peel. We don't want the peel on it. So, potato pancake, haha.
It's dibs on the potato pancake.
Dibs on the potato pancakes. Yeah. Oh, you've got dibs on the. I see. I missed the emote.
It's required, otherwise the dibs doesn't count.
You know, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, for those of you that like Korean food and eat Korean food, what is your favorite dish that you eat? I'm just going to toss those other ones that I already started cutting. Do you have a favorite? This? I like this, and I like beef bulgogi. I'm probably saying that wrong. So you have too many. Because it sounds like that's what you eat a lot of and have a lot of experience eating it. All right, so I'm cutting these into matchsticks. I'm also going to cut the carrots into matchsticks as well. And these are terrible. Don't look at my cuts. Don't cut things like me. I mean, or do. It doesn't matter. It's all going in the same place. In Robbie's stomach.
You're not having any?
Oh, I'm going to have some too.
Oh, okay.
I'm hungry.
Me too.
All this yoga teacher training. Buying a new car yesterday.
It was a process.
It was a process. Korean sweet and sour pork or spicy Korean fried chicken or mandu or kimchi pancakes. Yeah, you were saying that. I've never had a kimchi pancake. So, that's interesting.
That might be a future
that might be a future
stream.
thing. All right. Ooh, I forgot about these. Don't let me forget. I can see I don't have this evenly on the heat here. Put that one over there. Alrighty. So what's up with you guys? Anything? Anything good? Did you buy any good video games from Cody? Did Kelsey leave me already? Did she come in and say hi and leave me already?
She said that her internet wasn't great.
That's not good.
Makes it tough.
It does make it tough. I know for me today, I did some yoga. And I had some appointments for work. And I went grocery shopping. You know what I have found? I found that I love grocery shopping at like 8 o'clock in the morning because nobody is in the store. And so all of the aisles are for me. It's awesome. All right, let's see. You just got your Charmander plushie. You can't wait. Yeah, I love their stores. I think they're cute. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, that I have sliced up these cucumbers, I'm actually going to put some gochujang sauce on there. And Fallen Age, I really apologize if I am butchering all of these words. One day you can teach me how to say everything. All right. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of that in there, and I'm going to toss it, and then I'm going to let it sit, and all those flavors get into the cucumbers. So gochujang is a sweetened, it's like both sweet and it's a little spicy. So it's kind of like a ketchup-y kind of consistency. So, and I love here, like if you look at the ingredients here, it says ingredients, gochujang sauce.
What? Well, that's helpful.
I think I need some water. Ugh. Look, what's the first ingredient on there?
Yeah. Not that I didn't believe you.
You want to finish stirring that while I get to the next thing? It's all right. Okay. All right. Have I been to Pink Gorilla? Yeah, I've been to both stores. Since I am related to the owners. It's one of the places I have to visit every single time I'm there in Seattle. And we don't have anything quite like that here. Okay, next I am going to find my spinach. So there we go. Now a lot of times with the spinach, what I'll do is after I cut it up, I'll just saute it. I'll just wilt it and put a little salt and maybe some garlic in there, and that'll be it. Tonight I was reading one recipe and they had you cooking it in a broth. So I'm going to try that. A broth with sesame oil and some sesame seeds. And it sounded interesting, so we're going to try it. here we go. Like I told you, this is a lot more prep work than it is actual cooking. So, your mother made that from scratch? Oh yeah, more expensive than buying that right from the store. I saw a recipe for making the gochujang sauce, but I already had this in the fridge, so when this is out, maybe I'll make mine from scratch. Because you're right, I make a lot of things from scratch now that I used to buy sauces for. So things like pasta sauces I make from scratch. I think next time I'm gonna try and make mayonnaise from scratch too. Mayonnaise is one of my favorite things. Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise? Did you think I was gonna make the restaurant from
I was
scratch?
very confused, yeah. It's been a long day.
Alright. So for this, it has pots over here. I'm just gonna grab a bunch of spoons. Because if you were watching a few times ago, I was dancing with spoons a lot because I kept going and getting another spoon, and I really already had one. All right, so spinach. So go in here. I think these are pretty done. We'll set those over here so I can get this out of the way. They smell good. Look, there's a big old piece of onion for you. I'm going to throw it right on top. And we'll put that there. Because the kitchen is starting to look a little crazy. All right, I'm going to put this, and let me take a look because I need to look. It has some sesame oil, which I have back here in it. So yeah, so normally I'd put a little oil in a skillet like that and just saute it. But today we're going to do this. And we'll decide which is better. I'm going to put a few sesame seeds in there. I'm going to put a little broth in here, vegetable broth. So how do you get the spoon badge? The spoon badge is
I think you just got to go into the settings and pick which badge you want it to show.
I'm not familiar with that. Does anybody else know how, like, if you are subscribed and you want to use the badge from being subscribed, you just go under, what do you go under?
You might have to do it on a computer. It might not be possible on the phone. I'm not sure.
All right. And then I'm going to put a little bit of black pepper in there too. And some salt. I always salt as I go. Taking you guys out, oh, you guys are going out to eat? Are you taking me out to eat? Because that would be really nice. No. All right. So I'm going to let that go until the spinach gets a little wilted. And we'll turn that up a little bit. Here's the sauce for this. Do you want to try? Try with this. Do you need a plate? There you go. Oh, and here's the onion. And that's the little sauce. Until I get to a Korean store and can buy some chili paste. Or powder, chili powder. To make a better sauce.
It's nice and crunchy.
Yeah. All right, clean this off. I'm going to just now chop up a bunch of garlic because I got garlic that's got to go in a couple different things. So again, when you see my recipe, when I do post it on the Facebook page, and it'll link from Instagram and Twitter to it, there are no hard and fast rules with bibimbap. Actually, in my kitchen, there are no hard and fast rules. I do what I want, much to my mom's chagrin.
Need to be stirred.
Probably, that's probably pretty good right there. Because it doesn't need to be overcooked. I didn't cut the stems off very well on that. But what it can be, you can turn off. What we can do is stick it. It's real life, people. This is what we do. All right. I'm gonna stick that in there. Until I get to the meat, that's about it for the cooking. Can you do me a favor? Can you clean out that pan? The one thing I noticed about making bibimbap is that you end up with a lot of bowls and because you've got so many pieces that you're doing. So chat appearance.
How clean do you need it?
Huh?
How clean do you need it?
It doesn't need to be super clean because I'm just going to put oil in. I just need like the pieces of potato pancake out of there. Sorry guys, my cough is bad today. It's allergy season in Texas. So, all right. Let's see here. Da-da. I'm not quite as graceful at this as I am at the German food, since that's what I, grew up on. I can't even remember, other than crab rangoon that my mom used to buy at like Sam's, I think. We didn't do stir-fried rice. We didn't do any Korean food. We didn't do any Vietnamese food. We didn't do any Chinese food. We certainly didn't do any, Japanese food. So it was which was kind of weird because my dad was stationed in the Middle East, and my mom followed him around all the time when he was down there. So it seems like a little strange. But then, my dad liked, if you went to a restaurant with my dad, chances are he would get lobster, steak, or a burger. I don't recall anything else. That was his palate.
That's not a huge variety, no.
It's always allergy season in Texas. For me, it's definitely always allergy season in Texas, Joyce. That's why I have to do allergy shots. But seriously, if you like watching people chop, you should find that guy who makes sushi for his cats. Because he's obviously a chef. All right. Carrots. We're going to do those. Actually, you know what? Before I do that, I'm going to do the mushrooms. So I'm going to do some mushrooms with, of course I didn't write it down. I could have sworn I wrote it down. Mushrooms, garlic, sesame oil. Okay. So, I did write it down. I don't think I need this anymore. I'll put a little bit of sesame oil in here. I'm going to chop up while that's heating up, I'm going to chop up a few mushrooms. I'm sure that Robbie will like that on his bibimbap. We have never done that before, have I?
Yeah, I don't remember mushrooms with it.
Yep. But da-da-da-da.
How fancy.
I know. So this is kind of mixed mushrooms. So it's got shiitake mushrooms, since that is pretty common in Asian food. These are trumpet mushrooms.
Ooh.
And this is a blue oyster mushroom. So we don't need all of this, but we'll get a little bit of everything in there. Give it a little bit of a complex flavor. Because Robbie loves mushrooms. I like mushrooms, but not like Robbie does.
They're so cool, and they taste good.
Yes.
I'd make the really
Yes.
bad joke, but I won't do it.
I'm sure your mom would totally 100% agree with you. Oh, chat identity. Oh, is that? Oh, okay. So what you're saying is that if you want to put the badge with your name, you look up chat identity. Okay. That is good to know. Thank you. Thank you, Bucket 5000. You know, I'm kind of new to Twitch. So, I had a Twitch account for a while so that I could watch, you know, Cody and Kelsey, but I just kind of watched them. And actually, we usually watch that on Robbie's Twitch. Because he's usually the one who pulls it up. Alright. I'm going to take off the parts of these stems because they're a little dry. I kind of like it. I got to get this mixed mushroom thing and it was all put together for me.
It looked very cool.
So shiitake, blue oyster, and trumpet mushrooms. I don't think I've ever cooked with trumpet mushrooms before. I have with the oyster mushrooms and shiitakes for sure. In fact, some of you were here when I did it. All right, let's get those mushrooms in there and get them a little brown. And if you remember, you start by, we're just going to use that one. You want to start by getting them brown a little bit, and when you leave them in here a little bit, they'll release their water. And then make this kind of nice sauce. So you can always add stuff to it when it gets wet, like add a little flour, and then you can add some either wine to it. Now, I'm not going to do that for this dish, so don't get confused. I may be confusing myself. This is pretty common that I confuse myself. All right. So let those go. So while that's happening, I'm going to take a couple of carrots. And I have rainbow carrots today. And I love, have you guys cooked with rainbow carrots? Because they are cool.
Those look straight out of a cartoon.
Straight out of a cartoon? Well, and you know, you can cook with these too. So a lot of people will cook with the tops of the carrots as well. You can put it if you're making your own chicken or veggie stock. You should throw these in if you're doing that because they're really good. All right, so we are also going to peel these real quick because who wants roots? All those little things. Purple carrots are my favorite. Purple. Yes, Mitch, they come in other colors, or in Mitch. Watch this. I want to show you this because this is super cool. Especially like if you're making a salad. If Kelsey were still in here, she could tell you we went to a restaurant and they used in their salad, they used the rainbow carrots, and she kept going, what is this? It tastes like a carrot. I said, that's because it's a carrot, sweetie. But look. Can you see that? It's yellow on the inside and purple on the outside. So it tastes just like a carrot, but it's really pretty if you're like got a salad or anything like that. I love rainbow carrots because I like color. So.
Do they taste any different?
They don't taste any different whatsoever. Oh, Bugs Bunny taught you the carrot. I'm glad that you're getting your culinary education from Bugs Bunny. That was the word I was looking for. All right, so got that one. I'm going to do another one.
Are you trying to say that cartoons aren't the best source for information?
I'm going to say they're not the best source, generally speaking. All right, I'm going to put a little garlic in here with these mushrooms. Boy, I could have totally made more mushrooms. That's okay. You can, I'll take a taste of them and you can have them. I'm also going to put, when you're cooking, unless you're going to be adding like a lot of Parmesan or some sort of salty element to your thing later, like soy sauce, salt and pepper along the way. Salt and pepper along the way. These are browning up nicely. Turn it down a little bit because I get a little distracted when I'm talking to you guys. So yeah, it's great. You can orange carrots are what you see most of the time, but there's also yellow and purple carrots. I don't think I've seen any other colors. Has anybody else seen any other colors of carrots other than orange, purple, and yellow? This almost looks like a parsnip. It's like almost white instead of yellow. So I guess that's kind of a new color for me. So.
Yeah, it looks pretty close to white on the camera.
Oh. So, Joyce, really, you only found out about rainbow carrots when I made them? That's surprising to me. Oh, so Bugs Bunny did introduce you to classical music. Yes. There were some good things, right? I enjoyed it. And all those people who complained that, Yosemite Sam's got a gun. That never made me go out and shoot anybody because they were playing the piano wrong. The classics are the best. I can still watch them and be completely entertained by them. Okay. Dana, clean up your mess. Alright, I'm going to make some carrot matchsticks. You can also grate them. You see that on Bibimbap a lot too. Is grated carrots. And I think I've got bowls over here for this.
Look at you all prepared.
You know, spoon dance? Spoon dance, spoon dance. I don't know. Robbie clipped me dancing with spoons.
That might happen again.
It might. Probably will. That is okay. That is okay. Are these part of the potato pancake dish? That's an excellent, it is not. So that is its own separate thing, and it's called Gajajeon, something like that. Gajajeon. Apparently I got it right the other day, according to Fallen Age, who knows such things, who is wiser in the pronunciation of Korean dishes than I am. I'm not as fast as the chefs on TV either. And that's okay.
It's not a race.
It's not a race. When my kids were younger, that always reminds me when I think of those things, is that their dad would have toothbrushing races with them, which doesn't seem like a good idea. So let's see here. Fallen Age is definitely a wise person. You were right. Maybe I'll be a chef on TV someday. That would be scary. The other chefs would be like, she needs to go to culinary school and learn something. You're making all sorts of noises over there. Is there anything I should know?
Dream Collectibles just followed.
Oh, yay. Thanks for following.
There were two others. I'll have to go back and look.
Okay. Well, thank you guys that followed today. Yay. So, not to, move on to the next day. I'm kind of like my grandpa. My grandpa used to say, like, we would be eating lunch, and he'd go, "What's for dinner?" Which I thought was hilarious. But it used to annoy my mom and my grandma. On Sunday, we're going to be grilling again. And we're going to be making an apricot barbecue sauce. That's kind of almost more of a glaze, and chicken thighs on the grill. So that'll be good. Everyone starts somewhere. Absolutely everybody starts somewhere. That's why I just said, so let me tell you my process here. My kids said you should do this. I love to cook. And I've been thinking of doing something with cooking. And I just said, okay, I'll do it. And I started it without really having any clue what we were doing, both of us. Like, Robbie had done a little bit of homework, but for the most part, we just started. So we didn't have like a starting page, an ending page. We had nothing. We were just like, get in there, start cooking. Because if you think about it too much, I don't know if you're like me at all, I think about things too much and I talk myself out of it. So I just said, let's just do it. And then we can add all of those things away. And now look, we have 2 emotes for tier 1. And that's all because of you guys helping me out. So awesome. Love that. So South Korean cuisine. Yeah. So Robbie just thanked you guys. Thank you all. Thank you for following. I don't have it up on my chat screen because I can barely see the chat screen as it is. So, and there's Rocky. Woohoo! All right. That's how the rice is doing. It's looking good. Okay. Carrots are cut. What's next on my list? We've got this. I need to do the beef. So I need to put this in a bowl. So if you were here for the second stream ever in my life where I made one of my favorites from my childhood, and also I know for sure it was my youngest's one of their favorites as well, was rouladins. This meat will look familiar. This is the same kind of meat that we used. Well, you can use these for rouladins. I think I used a different cut that day. I used a cross rib steak, but this is cut thin, like this. So if you're making rouladins, you can use this. This is a top round cut thin. And usually you can find them in the butcher shops, but the butcher will cut them thin for you if you ask. All right. I'm saying all right a lot. There's certain words I say a lot.
Are you Matthew McConaughey tonight?
All right, all right, all right. How's that?
Close enough. We'll give it to you.
All right, all right, all right. All right. I need to wash my hands. Hang on. Guess what we do when we wash our hands? If you're new, we sing the Manana song while we're washing hands. Because I'm tired of ABCs and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So. Okay, that's good enough. Hopefully nobody gets mad about that. All right. All right, all right, all right. My 2 words, you know, a lot of us when we're doing things, we have a couple of words that we say a lot. And for me, it is so, and apparently all right. All right, a little bit of, see? I just put some sesame oil in there. I'm going to heat this up. And then I'm going to put the beef in there. And then I'm going to add to the beef a little bit of soy sauce and sugar and garlic and sesame seeds and pepper and everything. So not really beef bulgogi, but something kind of similar to it. Sesame seeds, I need those. All these bowls, lots of bowls. Oh yeah, we have kimchi. I did not make the kimchi from scratch. Kimchi is so good for you. Do you guys like kimchi and kombucha and all those kind of fermented vegetables and stuff? I like them. I did used to really not like other than like sauerkraut and that.
It's like every now and then you should try stuff again if you hadn't had it in a while. You might like it now.
Excellent. Yeah, my kids, I always made my kids try things again. And they still do it. You should see the floor back here. It's terrible. All right. Here we go. Let's cook some of this meat. Now, I did not salt and pepper this meat beforehand, so I'm going to do it now. It does not take long. These are very thin to cook. quiet today. I'm not saying as much as I normally do.
It's all the yoga.
So, funny story, as I'm doing this yoga thing, I had said I'm going to have to work on not talking all the time if I'm teaching yoga. And they were like, oh, you don't do that. And then we did like this chakra quiz to see which chakras were underactive or open or overactive. And my throat chakra was overactive. What? Shocking. See how fast that cooked? Here. It cooked really fast. And don't overcrowd your pan or you're just steaming the food. You won't get that nice brown on it. So let's see here. Enjoy. Okay, let's see here. Have I ever had bulgogi? Yes, I've actually made bulgogi from scratch, and I've also used a pre-made sauce for it. So I'm going to cut this down into thin strips after it's cooked. It'll be hot. I'll burn my hand. Fine.
Don't burn yourself. We don't want you to burn yourself.
So, where's the kimchi? Right here. Right here. This is a vegan version, and it is a spicy one made with Napa cabbage. They had another one that was made from daikon, but I decided to go with the Napa cabbage. And I did not make it from scratch because I didn't have enough time to do that. Because I only thought about it today. Rocky is down here by my feet waiting for me to drop some meat. Master of the splits. It's fine. It's fine. I know that you can't see everything. I've got a lot of stuff going on here. It's all good. I like questions and being able to... Oh, good. All right. So I think what I'm going to do here is turn that off. I take this, because I still have the eggs to make. We still have eggs. That we've got to do.
That might be one of my favorite parts about this dish.
The egg. Woo, that's hot. It might be better to cut that into strips and then cook it. But this is the way I did it. You know what? I'm going to get the other knife, I think.
It might be tough to flip all of them if you did it that way.
I mean, I think I've done it both ways. I think I've cut it this way and I've done it in strips. Stick that back in there. And take these out. And get these cut while I burn my hands. Always fun. So thank you, Dream It Collectibles. Thank you. And so I'm going to make just like a real quick little sauce to put on top of this beef so it has a little bit more flavor to it. And I didn't quite get all the way to the end here. This is one of my new knives.
So you can't blame the knife on that one.
I cannot. This knife is very sharp. I can only, it's operator error. Almost always operator error in this kitchen. You won't see me blaming everything else for things unless I'm just in a mood. If I'm in a mood, I might. All right, so for this, I'm going to do some soy sauce. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in this pan and then put the beef back in the pan to coat it. So I'm put 5 tablespoons of soy sauce. 3. And I'm going to be careful because this is not low sodium soy sauce, so it does have quite a lot. What's going on? Is he whining? So just so you know, Robbie, the dog wrangler, has been in full force today. They have been fighting. All right, I put 2.5 tablespoons. This is a half tablespoon, so I need 5 of these. 1, oops, 2, 3, 4, and not a full one since I spilled a bunch of other sugar in there already. And that, I need some green onion, which I did not chop up yet. But it's okay, that meat was cooked, right? It's all good. Let's see, you study. He told me no kimchi, you don't eat it. Well, okay.
So it's required.
Huh?
Gotta have it then.
Well, luckily we have some. Your instructor was weird. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with weird. I may have been called that a time or two in my life.
You've never called me weird. Never.
Never?
Maybe.
Maybe? I bet I've called you weird.
Well, then I'm glad to hear it's okay.
Yeah. Weird people are the fun people. Like, if everybody was the same, how boring is that? All right, so we need some garlic. Guess what I have? I have some garlic. I'm not going to put a lot in there because it's raw. And then we need some sesame seeds. We're supposed to have about 2 tablespoons, so gotta have kimchi at every meal. All right, 2 tablespoons. 1, 2, like that. And then what else do I need? I need some pepper, some more pepper. All right, I'm gonna heat this up real quick. New spoon, new to Anna. I'm hitting the lights tonight. It's something new every time, Robbie. Something new. And get that sugar dissolved into all of the wet stuff. And then we'll put the meat back in there to coat it. Actually, it smells really good. Can you smell that over there?
It does smell good, yeah.
How were the potato pancakes? You didn't tell me.
Sorry, it was very good.
Was it?
I wolfed it down pretty quick.
Did you? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm cooking something that takes a while to cook. I'm gonna try one. Cause I'm hungry. I'm hungry too. So. Didn't Alton have a mug or something that said kimchi forever? Or...
Either him or Elizabeth, maybe, yeah.
One of them did. Alright, now I'm just going to put the beef in there along with the extra juice from the meat since it's been sitting, and just get that covered. And that sauce. Alright, guess what's next? You know what's next?
Egg?
Frying an egg.
All right.
I'm just going to start with one so that we can make a bowl and show everyone. Make one bowl. I also promised Robbie's mom, I made a promise I was going to try and crack an egg with one hand.
She accepted the challenge.
So I've accepted the challenge. And I'll show, if you want to look it up online, and let me clean some stuff up here. They tell you to practice with ping pong balls. I'm not joking. Which is why I have ping pong balls over here. And they tell you to hold them this way and practice moving your hands this way. Now, I did do a couple runs of this earlier today, and honestly, this was not helpful.
And that's why that's not the tip of the day?
It's not the tip of the day. But let me get stuff out of the way here. Oh yeah, we have these little microgreens. So rather than the mung beans, which would probably be more traditional, but Fallen Age can probably tell you that, I got this, it's a microgreen salad that has the shoots, like the little baby shoots from wasabi oriental mustard, daikon radish, garlic chives, and bok choy.
Are you sure the first ingredient isn't salad?
The first ingredient is not salad like the Gajajeon's first ingredient was Gajajeon. Alright, I have a mess over here. Okay. Here we go. Oh, you know what else I need? I need a pan to put it in. We'll heat that baby up. All right, so here we go. We're gonna try this. I'm gonna try and hold it like, see how much smaller that is than 2 ping pong balls? You see? Like it's harder to, so we're gonna try. I did it. And no shells. No shells. There you go, Joyce. How'd I do?
I think you won the challenge.
I won the challenge. That is good to know. I like winning the challenge. All right. Do you want to, if you want, while I cook this, you could start putting all the other stuff on the thing. If you want. If you don't, I'll do it. I guess that's Robbie's way of saying you do it. Which is fine. I've made quite a mess for him over here. You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Do you? He worked so hard on Sunday, and he did so much work on Sunday, and then he had to do the dishes. But the one thing he said is that steak was totally worth all of that. All right. So get that going. And while that's cooking, I will start plating stuff. Now, this is not a typical bowl that you would use, and I think, and Fallen Age again can say something about this, is that you would put it in a bowl where the rice would cook on the bottom and get crispy. I don't happen to have those, so I'm so glad your mom is proud of you, Robbie. So what I've got here is more of a sticky rice that I made. And if you weren't here, I didn't cook this very long. So I soaked it for about 6 hours today, and then I just put it in the pot and brought it to a boil and put the top on it, and now it's perfect. It's perfect sticky rice. A stone bowl. You don't even use that either? Okay. So Fallen Age, do you use sticky rice or do you use a different kind of rice when you make this? Because I'm curious about that. And look, I put this in here. Let's put some of these veggies on here. So put some. What I love about this dish is it's really pretty too.
Rice cooker rice.
Huh? Rice cooker rice? Okay. I mean, that makes sense. We're going to do some of these rainbow carrots over here. Probably, I did rainbow carrots because I like them and I matchsticked them. But you probably, shredded carrots probably work better. And then we'll put some mushrooms over here. Am I missing anything on there? Oh, the meat. Look at that. And then here is our bibimbap. And actually, you know what I usually do with this is where did I put my sesame seeds? I would usually put black sesame seeds, but I couldn't find them. I really need to clean out my kitchen so I can find all the things that I can't find. And then Robbie really likes spicy food, so we usually drizzle some of that on the top, like that. One of those, and a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper on the top. And there you go. There you go. And now we're going to eat it.
But it's so pretty.
In front of you. And if you would like some kimchi, we've got that for the side too.
Are you going to break the egg on camera? Because that always looks cool.
All right, here we go. Robbie would like me to break the egg on camera. And there we go. That is a perfectly cooked egg right there.
Yeah.
That goes in there. All right. So what do you think? What do you think, guys? I'm going to eat a bite of it. Usually Robbie gets the first bite, but I'm going to take the first bite today.
You made it. You worked hard.
I'm going to eat it kind of with my fingers here. Get a little mushrooms. And a little bit of that. Here you go. He just stole the bowl. He's gone.
Bye, chat. Good show. Good talking to you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for coming. If you have any questions.
I was kidding. I was leaving. I didn't really leave.
You didn't really. He did. He walked way over there. I think he didn't like being called out.
What?
No.
Me?
What? Thank you guys. So do you guys have any other questions or any other input or anything from me? I appreciate all of you guys being here so much. So thank you. Thank you for coming. And like I said, you can find these recipes online at Dana's Kitchen, which is at Dishes with Dana on Facebook. There will be, if you're more of an Instagram or a Twitter person, the links will be there to that site as well as it's on the Twitch. You can get over there and that'll be the recipe. But remember, be creative, use what you have, use what you like. This is not hard and I'm going to put this stuff on the recipe, but you make it the way that you want to have it, whatever tastes good to you. And yeah, on Sunday, join us Sunday at 5. We're going to be making we're going to be grilling out some apricot barbecue chicken. And I don't remember what else I have on the menu yet, but there's stuff.
I heard barbecue. That's gotten. I'll show up.
Yeah, you'll show up. So that's it. So thank you guys so much, and hopefully I'll see you guys on Sunday.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.